Namaste, Jacci, and I'm going to do a little yoga with you today. So as always, as we prepare for our practice, if you can take a moment to put your mat out on the floor, and I'd like you to have enough room behind you to stretch your arms up over your head. So take a moment to get the space that you need. You may find it helpful to have a blanket or a towel to pad your knees. So when we come down to hands and knees, you may find that's really helpful. And then I suggest that you turn off your phones and close the door of the room that you're in. Just give yourself a little bit of time. We'll be together for the next maybe 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So take your time. Give yourself a little bit of self-care by doing your yoga practice today. And we're going to begin lying down on the floor today. So you can lie down on the floor on your back. And just to kind of check out the space that you're in, take a moment to lift your arms up over your head. Just make sure you have room back there behind you. And then situate your back and your hips so they feel comfortable, and take a moment to just check in and notice how it feels to lie down. Perhaps even just scan your eyes around the room and just notice any colors or light that you see. And then just choose one spot to look at and let your gaze be soft, and begin to slowly let the inhales lengthen and the exhales lengthen so that the breath gets a little slower and a little deeper. And if you rest your hands on your belly, you might feel a gentle rise on the inhale, and that softening on the exhale as the breath moves out. Just beginning to settle. You could even close your eyes for a moment. Just take a moment to land. Just letting go of the concerns and to-dos of your day as you settle in for your practice. And then let your feet come up off of the floor. Just draw your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Massaging your back, noticing your back. You could also make circles with your knees. That would be good too. And then let your hips be centered, your back centered, and circle your ankles and your wrists. So let both the feet and the hands make circles, and then change the direction of your circles. Just some little joint rotations, so nice for the body. And then keep your right foot up off of the floor and let your left foot come back down. And let the right knee just circle around. So you might put your hand on your knee and just do the right hip. And notice your right hip and how it feels. And you may notice that as you rock around, your left hip moves too. Very hard to move them independently. And let go the other direction with your circles, and just notice what you feel on the right side. And then let your foot come back down to the floor. Pull your left knee up into your chest and just circle the left knee around, and notice your left hip. And perhaps you just notice a little movement in the right hip as well. Go both ways with your circles. No rushing, just taking a few minutes to move around, just noticing. And then let your feet come to the floor. Let the legs rest for a moment. You may find it is nice to have the feet a bit wide and the knees touching. For many people, that's quite comfortable. And then please inhale your arms up over your head toward the floor behind you. And exhale your hands down. And as the hands float down to touch the floor, pull your belly in. And a couple times like that. Inhale your hands up. Spread your fingers. Exhale your hands down. Pull the belly in. It's kind of a hugging here. Inhale. You feel how the chest expands and lifts on the in-breath. And then exhale and lower your arms down. Pull your belly in. And then please lift your feet up off of the floor. And what we're going to do is lift the leg, but we're going to alternate the two sides. So lift your right leg toward the ceiling, and at the same time, let the left leg float up over, left arm, come up over your head. So right leg, left arm.
And then exhale and bend your knee and lower it down. Pull your belly in. And now straighten your left leg toward the ceiling. Lift your right arm over your head. This helps the two sides of the brain communicate when we do different things on the two sides of the body. Now this time when you straighten your right leg and lift your right arm, big inhale, and as you bend the knee and lower your arm, turn your head to the left. And then as your inhale begins, bring your head to the center, left leg, right arm. And as you bend the knee and lower the arm, turn your head to the right. Again, making your brain have to work a little bit. So right leg, left arm, the head can float back to the center as those things lift up. And then as you bend the knee and lower your arm, turn your head left. And then left leg, right arm. And then bend the knee, lower your arm, turn your head right. So if any of that felt a little confusing, that was the point. And then bring your head back to the center, and then we're going to lift both legs and both arms. So inhale, both legs, both arms up. The brain is happy with this. It doesn't have to think too much. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your arms. You might point your toes and give them a little squeeze. Do that again. Inhale, lift up. Spread your toes. Spread your fingers. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your arms. And this time we're going to hold up there. So straighten your legs any amount. Lift your arms up over your head any amount. While you hold on the exhale, pull the belly in, soften the elbows, soften the knees. And on your inhale, lengthen back out. Lengthen your arms, lengthen your feet up. Do that again. Exhale, soften the knees, soften the elbows, pull in your belly. And then inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. One more time. Exhale, bend the knees, soften the elbows. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, bend the knees, lower the arms, and put your feet down on the floor. Good. And then draw your right knee back up into your chest and straighten your right leg. And if you can, interlace your fingers behind your hamstrings. Let's try to open up that leg a little bit more. So exhale, bend your knee, pull it toward your chest. And inhale, straighten the leg any amount, and pull your hands toward your leg here. Exhale, bend, and that support may help you just to lengthen a little bit more. So inhale, lengthen the leg. It's fine if it's not straight. We just want to get a little length back there. Exhale, bend. And one more. Inhale, straighten your leg. And exhale, bend. And then straighten the leg, and we're just going to hold it up in the air a little bit longer. You can release your hands, and we're going to do something a little bit like a sit-up. So you can have your heel pretty much over your hip. So if it's easy for you to bring your foot closer to your head, just try to let the leg be straight up. Take your opposite hand, again, the left hand, we're going to reach it up to the toes, and we're going to do, again, something like a sit-up. So inhale while your head is on the floor. Exhale, pull your belly in and lift your chest, and you reach your fingers up toward your toes. They might touch, they might not. Inhale. Lower your head back down on the inhale. And do that 3 more times. So exhale, lift your chest and your head, and reach your fingers toward your toes. Slow inhale to come back down. No rushing at all here. Again, exhale, lift up, pulling in the belly. Inhale, lower down. And again, exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. And then bring your arm down and bend your knee and lower your foot to the floor. Take a moment to just notice the right and left sides. How do they feel after those movements? And then we'll do all that stuff to the left side. So pull your left knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers behind your leg. If you can switch the way you're crossing your fingers. And then on the exhale, pull your knee a little closer to your chest. Pull the belly in. And on the inhale, straighten the leg, and you can pull your hands toward the leg. And then exhale, bend the knee. And then inhale, straighten the leg. And as you pull the hands in, you push your leg toward your hands and push your heel up. You can even spread the toes. Exhale, bend. No rushing. Do one more. Inhale. And then bend the knee on the exhale. And then straighten your leg again and release your hands. It's fine if there's a bend in your knee. And again, have your heel right over your hip, so not up towards your face here, just straight up. And then lift your right arm up. Please inhale with your head on the floor. And exhale, lift your fingers towards your big toe. And then inhale back down to the floor. So inhale, we come down. And on the exhale, we go up. Pull in your belly. And inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. I think we'll do one more. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Then lower your arm and lower your foot. And take a moment to notice. And then inhale your arms up over your head. Just a little symmetrical movement. Exhale down, pull your belly in. And this time, as you, so have your feet pretty close to your body. And as we lift the arms up, we're also going to lift the hips up like a little bridge pose. Not too much. We'll just start gently. So please look straight up. And on your inhale, reach your arms over your head and let your hips lift up off of the floor. And on your exhale, lower your hands down, lower your hips down, pull your belly in. Maybe everything touches the floor at the same time. And we'll just do that two more. So inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Not too high a lift. We just want to get a little symmetry in the hips, a little symmetrical movement. So don't have to go too high. Inhale, lift, and arms go up, and you could spread your fingers. And then exhale down, hands touch as your hips touch. And then pause. Take a breath. So for the next part, we're going to come to hands and knees. So please roll over to your side and use your hands to push you back up. And when you come onto all fours, you may want to, as I said, use something to pad your knees. So I'm going to grab a blanket here, but if you have a towel or something you can use to pad your knees, that may be nice. And then come to tabletop, so your hands are under your shoulders and your hips are over your knees. On your in-breath, lift your chest and your eyes. On the exhale, pulling in the belly here, the back rounds, and then fold back to child's pose, letting the elbows touch and your head bow down toward the floor. And then glide back up to tabletop on your inhale, lift your chest and eyes. Exhale back, touching the elbows down. This may feel nice for your back after the things we just did on the floor. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. So as you come up this inhale, pick up your right leg and stretch it back behind you. Push the heel away, point the toes down, and lift your chest. And then put your knee down and fold back on the exhale. And do that right leg again, same leg, right leg. Exhale, put the knee down and fold back. And one more time, take your right leg back. And this time, hold it up in the air. Make a few circles with that right ankle, and then put the toes of your right foot down on the floor. And push your heel back. And while your foot is on the floor, please inhale your left arm forward. Hold on the exhale, pull your belly in, and on your in-breath, let your right foot lift up and the left arm lengthen. And on your exhale, pull your belly in, round your back, tuck your elbow in towards your knee, tuck your chin. And then inhale, we lengthen. The leg reaches back, the arm reaches out. And then exhale back, tuck in. So go as slowly as you can. And inhale back out, no rushing at all. One more. Pulling in the abdomen here. Inhale, lengthen. See if you can pause just a second at the top of that inhale. And now exhale down. Put your hand down. Put your knee down. Fold your hips back. If you need to shake the right wrist, you can do that. Inhale to tabletop. Lift your chest and eyes. Exhale back. And then we'll do that to the other side. So as you inhale up, lift your left leg. And just hold it in the air for a moment. Circle your ankle. And then put the toes of that foot down on the floor. And then inhale your right arm forward. Hold on the exhale. Pull your belly in.
And then here we lengthen on the inhale, so the arm reaches and the foot can lift up. And when you exhale, pull the belly in, round your back, tuck your elbow towards your knee. Go slow. Inhale, stretch back out. Here's the lengthening. Tuck on the exhale, but slowly. Lengthen on the inhale. One more. Tuck on the exhale. Slowly stretch out on the inhale, maybe even holding the space at the top of the inhale a little longer. And then everything down. Exhale back. Again, feel free to stretch that left wrist a little bit. Inhale up to all fours. Exhale, put your elbows down. Maybe you want to circle the wrists. Let your hips sway side to side. This is called puppy pose, so you can wag your tail. And then if it feels comfortable for your shoulders and your neck to take your arms out further in front of you, you can stretch your arms out and lower your forehead closer to the floor. So that may feel good, it may not. So if it's better for you to be back on your elbows, do that so it doesn't strain your shoulders and it's not too much in your back. And then please push up to hands and knees and tuck your toes and make your way to downward facing dog. So lift your hips up, push your hands down. You could start here with a little bend in your knees and then kind of pedaling out the legs, walking the dog. You can notice how that feels. So you're welcome to hold the bend in your knees, hold the pose longer, or come down to child's pose if you like. And then from wherever you are, come on up to stand on your feet. And you can walk up to standing. Move the blanket out of the way if you had something under your knees. And once you're standing, you can circle your shoulders. And then we're going to do this little swinging movement that I like. So we're going to step the feet out about shoulder width apart and let the arms swing. You want to let the hands reach around and tap your back. And the head turns, so you could use your eyes if you try to look back at the floor behind you. It'll help move your neck. And the opposite heel can float up off the floor, so the hips move too. So you get this gentle movement in the whole spine, the neck, the ribs, the hips. And then come to the center, still the feet a little bit wide, and we're going to do some side bending movements here. So please inhale your arms out to the side and up. And feel that lengthening thing with the inhale here. Now exhale, let your left hand come down, and we're just going to lean over to the left side. And we're going to stay, and on the inhale, see if you can lengthen your right arm more. Here's the inhale. And on the exhale, pull the belly in, bend your right elbow, and hug that shoulder blade down your back, and look down at the floor on the left. And then inhale, let that arm reach over again. You might even try looking up towards your hand. Exhale, bend your elbow, pull your belly and look down. Hug the shoulder blade down. Do that again. Inhale. Don't look up if it hurts your neck. Exhale, bend your elbow, belly in, look down. And then inhale up to standing. Bring your arm down and take a moment. Notice you could maybe woggle a little bit. How does the right side feel compared to the left side now? And then we'll do the same to the other side. So please inhale your arms out to the side and up. On the exhale, we're going to lean to the right. So let the right hand come down, and the left arm can just reach over your head. And here, inhale, lengthen more. Maybe look up at your hand. Exhale, pull your belly in, bend your elbow, and turn your head. Look down at your right foot. And then inhale, reach again, eyes up, hand up. Exhale, bend your elbow, hug your shoulder blade onto your back, look down, pull your belly in. Inhale, one more. Exhale, bend the elbow, look down, pull your belly in. And inhale back up to the center. Let your arm come down, sway a little bit, see what you notice. And then with the feet still a little bit wide, so wider than your shoulders slightly, we're going to take a forward bend to kind of stretch out our back after that. So touch the sides of your body with your hands. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, pull your belly in, bend your knees like a squat almost, and just slide your hands down your legs and lean forward with your chest. And then slowly rise back up with a flat back. If you slide your hands up to your hips first, it'll help you come up with a little bit more of a straight spine, trying not to round up. So do that again. Exhale like a squat. You can bend your knees more or less. And then slide your hands up your legs first. Come up to standing. Inhale. One more. Exhale. And inhale back up. Good. And then step your feet back in. Give them a little jiggle. Wiggle things. Okay, so for the next movement, we're going to stand on one foot for a little bit. So I'm going to turn to the side so you'll be able to see my leg. And what we're going to do is so first, if you can step off your mat onto a firm floor, like a wood floor or a harder floor, that would be better for balancing, especially if you're on a carpet or a spongy mat. So you could do that if that's helpful. And we're going to pretend like there's a string attached from the right hand to the right knee. And as you inhale, we're just going to start to let the right hand float up, and like it's lifting your knee up off of the floor, your foot up off the floor, your knee lifts up. And then try to come down equally slow. So let your hand float down and see if your foot can touch the floor as your hand touches the side of your leg. So looking at something, one spot to do that will help. Same side, right hand, right knee. Inhale up. And then take the whole exhale to come back down. And one more. So the whole inhale to go up. It's fine if you're breathing a little bit faster or a little bit slower than me. And the whole exhale to go down. And the next time we're going to try to hold that. So take your leg and your arm up, and it's fine if you only lift a few inches. And on your exhale, stay and pull your belly in. And on your inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. Exhale, stay. Inhale, maybe you lift your knee a little higher. And this exhale, you could even try to straighten your leg. On the inhale, still stay. And then slowly come down on your exhale. And then give your standing foot a little shake. Give both feet a little shake, and then just stand still for a moment and notice the difference in the two sides. So both sides work. The leg you're lifting is working. The standing leg was also working quite a lot. So take a moment to notice, and then we'll do that on the other side. Again, standing on a firm surface is most helpful, and looking at something that's not moving. So we'll start with the left hand and the left knee. So please inhale and lift your left arm and let that knee just float up off of the floor. And then see how smoothly you can come down so your foot touches as your hand comes down to touch your leg. So the whole inhale to go up. And the whole exhale to go down. So one more up and down. Inhale. And then down. And then we'll hold that one. So inhale, we're going to try to hold maybe 3 breaths. So go up any amount. On the exhale, stay and pull your belly in. On the inhale, lengthen a little more. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lengthen. So this one you might try to straighten your leg if you're bored. And then lengthen a little more on the inhale. And then let everything come down slowly. Nice, controlled lowering. And then give your feet a little shake. can jiggle a little bit. And then we're going to do a forward fold to kind of stretch out after that. So for this one, we're going to step the feet out a little wider. And we'll do a similar thing like we did before, like almost like a squat. So bring your hands to the sides of your body. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and take a bow. Slide your hands down your legs. Now this time, you could just keep your back flat, but if it's comfortable for you, you can let your head drop down. And then slide your hands up to your hips as you begin the inhale, and then rise back up with a flat back. Don't round up. Try that again. Exhale, bend your knees, slide down. And again, you could just go halfway. That would be fine. Or if it's okay for your head to drop down, you can. Some people get dizzy dropping the head. Rise your hands up to your hips first, and then come up with a flat back. Good. And then just stay up. You can jiggle a little bit. And we're going to do a little movement in this position with the feet wide. We're going to do the warrior two position. For this pose, the right foot is going to turn out 90 degrees, and the left toes can turn in a little bit so that heel moves away slightly. And when we do the pose, we're going to bend the right knee, so we want that knee to be right over the heel. So if it wants to kind of jut out over your toes, either bend your knee less or walk your feet wider. So get your feet situated. On the exhale, just straighten that right leg, touch your belly, get that hugging in feeling. And then at the beginning, a really simple movement. So bend your knee and just let your arms float up to shoulder height and feel the shoulders lifting up out of your hips. And then exhale out of the pose and touch your belly, hugging in the abdomen. And again, inhale, bend the knee, lift. Exhale, straighten the leg, pull the belly up. For the next part, we're going to be keeping the bend in the knee. So inhale, bend your knee a comfortable amount and lift your arms. And on the exhale, we're going to lean over toward that bent knee. So you could put your right hand on your leg and lean on it, and the other hand can just be on your hip. If it's comfortable for you, you can put your elbow down on your leg, but we don't want to round the back. We want to keep the upper chest open. And we're just going to hold here, so you can decide how much bend you want to have in that knee. And then with the upper arm, we're going to do a movement a little bit like we did in that side bend we did earlier. So please take your left hand and inhale it up over your head, maybe even looking at it. That may challenge your balance. And on your exhale, bend that elbow, hug it down your back, and then see how it feels to look down at your right foot. And then do that again. Inhale, reach your arm over your head, maybe look up. Check your balance here. Exhale, bend your elbow, hug your belly in, look down if it doesn't make you fall over. One more. Inhale. And bend your elbow. Exhale, look down. And then you can just bring that hand to your hip and come up to the center. Turn your feet forward. See how that distance feels between your feet. We're going to do the forward fold 2 times, and then we'll do it to the other side. So touch your hips, inhale. Pull the belly in, take a bow. And again, you could bow halfway down with your chest, or you could let your head drop all the way down. Slide your hands up the hips to begin, and then lift up with a flat back. And again, exhale down. Slide your hands up to begin, and then inhale up with a flat back. All right, and then we'll do the warrior two pose to the other side. So please take your left foot and turn it out 90 degrees. The back toes turn in slightly, and then a test bend. So we're just bending that knee to make sure that the knee is right over the heel on that bend. So that's a safe position for your knee. You can adjust the distance between your feet if you want. And on the exhale, straighten your leg, touch the abdomen. Belly draws in. All right, smooth inhale. Bend your knee, float your arms halfway up. You feel the hips just lifting, the shoulders lifting up out of your hips. And then exhale, straighten your leg, touch your belly. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So do that again. Inhale, and we're going to hold the bend in the knee this time. So exhale, let the hands come down. So the left hand can just lean on your leg, and you could just do the movement from here. That would be fine. Or if you want, you can try to come down onto your elbow. And the more you bend this knee, the more challenging it'll be to hold. So you can have it bent not very much, or you can bend it quite a lot. And then open up your chest. And on your inhale, take the upper hand, right hand up over your head, and look that way if you can. Exhale, bend the elbow, hug your belly in, slide that shoulder blade down, and then look down at your left foot. And then inhale, arm up, eyes up. Exhale, belly in, bend your elbow, hug your shoulder blades together, look down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Look down if it doesn't make you fall down. And then just bring your hand to your hip and come up on the inhale. Good. And then turn your feet forward. And this time we're going to go down and do like a wide leg downward dog. So you can go down the same way. So turn your feet forward, bend your knees, and you can slide your hands down. And then just let your hands find the floor. And stretch your arms out. You can pedal out your legs. Maybe do some horse flips. Maybe bending and straightening the knees. What feels nice for you here? Bending both knees can be a nice way to stretch out the back here. And then walk your hands back up underneath your shoulders, and what we're going to do from here is come back down onto the floor. So you can just lower your knees back down and lie back down on your back. And that may feel nice at this point. And once you're on your back, do some ankle circles, which may feel good after those standing poses. Some wrist circles too. These joint rotations are soothing for the joints, but soothing for the brain. And then just shake things off a little bit. Shake your hands, shake your feet, do a little shaking. And let your feet come to the floor. Maybe take a breath to just notice how it feels to be lying back down on the floor again after the things that we've done. So we're going to do the windshield wiper movement. So for this movement, the knees are still bent, but the feet come wider. So walk your feet to the edges of your mat or wider than your hips. And then on the exhale, so we're still coordinating with our breath. On the exhale, the knees fall to the side and the belly draws in. And it's almost like the in-breath lifts your knees back up. And then the exhale, the knees go to the other side. Belly draws in. And on the in-breath, the knees float back up. And then you can try turning your head the opposite way. So as your knees go to one side, see how it feels to turn your head and your eyes to the other side. And on the inhale, let the knees rise up and the head rise up. And then exhale, knees one way, head the other way. Let's try that each side one more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And the next round, we're going to hold each side for 2 breaths. So please inhale up to the center. And then exhale to one side. Doesn't really matter which side. You can turn your head or not. And then take a nice big inhale while you hold. And then a slow exhale, pull your belly in. One more big inhale. And then sigh. Slowly come to the center on your inhale. So lift your knees and let your head roll back to the center. And then we'll do the other side holding 2 breaths. So exhale over. It's okay if you don't go very far, if you prop up your knees on some support. So inhale. And then slowly exhale, pull the belly in. And this time we'll sigh. So big inhale. Good. And then inhale back up. And once your knees are back up, even your head back up, and just walk the feet in a little bit closer to your body and closer so that the heels are lined up with your hip bones. And we're going to repeat that bridge pose movement. And this time we're going to keep the hands down by our sides rather than the version we did earlier with the arms. So palms down, hands palms down. When you get to your next in-breath, push through your heels and lift your hips up. And on the exhale, lower back down, pull your belly in so that you can kind of push your back toward the floor when you get down. Get those abdominals to engage. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Now this one we're going to hold one breath at the top. So please inhale up. Hold on the exhale. And hold on the inhale. Let the exhale bring you down. And this time we're going to hold 2 breaths. So inhale, lift. Hold on the exhale. Pull your belly in. Hold on the inhale. One more. Hold, exhale. Stay on your inhale. Maybe you lift a tiny bit more. And then exhale down. And the next one you can go up and you can hold maybe 3 breaths, maybe 1. You choose. So I'm going to let you count your own breaths. So as you're ready on the inhale, please lift up and just count your own breaths. You can maybe you're breathing a little faster or a little slower than me. You stay 1, 2, or 3 breaths. When you're ready to come down, you let an exhale bring you down. And once you've come down, your hips are on the floor. Go ahead and come down if you haven't already on an exhale. Pull your knees up into your chest and rock a little bit. And this may feel kind of nice to just give your back a massage. You can sway, or knee circles can be really nice here to massage the back. You could even lift your chest up towards your knees. Many people find that nice after that pose. And then inhale your head back down. And let your feet come down to the floor. And we'll let the legs rest again, so you can let the feet be a little bit apart and the knees touch if that's comfortable. You may be more comfortable having them even. And rest your hands somewhere on your body, so perhaps on your belly. And take a breath. So now we're beginning to settle. We're beginning to let go of some of the effort, and especially the effort to control your breath. So just now a normal breath. You can let go of trying to breathe. Your body knows how to breathe on its own. And just notice where you feel your normal breath. Just allowing your body to settle. So notice if there's anything you could adjust that would help you to be more comfortable. Maybe your neck, or even putting a little towel or support under your head, or your shoulders, or your hips. And then you can keep your knees bent as you move toward the rest of the relaxation part. Or some people like lying flat on the floor. And this is classic position for Shavasana, for the relaxation, to lie flat and have the palms open, which is fine if it's comfortable for you. But if what you notice when you stretch your legs out flat is that it felt a little bit better when your knees were bent, for many people, putting a little support under the knees, a pillow, a cushion, or even just keeping the knees bent can be more comfortable, so that you don't feel any tension in your back or discomfort in your back. And just letting your body rest. We're going to take a couple of breaths, and we'll use a sigh again just to let go a little bit more. So please inhale. Big sigh. This time try to make the sound ah. So big inhale. Ah. Nice releasing breath, and just get comfortable.
So as we settle, as we move into the shift toward the relaxation part of our practice, again, we've taken a little time to get settled and get comfortable. And I'll say a closing message, a closing prayer. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. And may we all live with ease. So I encourage you to continue to rest your body for another 5 minutes or perhaps 10 minutes if you have it. It's so helpful for us to take little time to integrate after our practice. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.